What if I told you guys this is the most prepared I have ever felt going into a new year? That is a crazy statement coming from me because every single year I could not feel less prepared, but something this year has clicked. I don't know if it's because I finally understand how I need to plan my year to be productive. I don't know if it's because I'm so sick of 2024, I'm just excited for 2025. The last few days, I've spent hours and hours pouring into my planning for 2025. And I don't want to make any statements that are too bold right off the bat in this intro, but I am very confident that this is the best Notion template that I have ever made. Welcome in, everybody. Make yourself comfortable, grab your drink of choice. Mine today is water. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I've been planning my months on Notion since about 2021. Every single year, I kind of fall into the same pattern. I make some kind of Notion setup at the beginning of the year, but I'm kind of scrambling. I'm stressed as I'm making it. I throw it together. I say, oh, I'm gonna just do this as the year goes on. I'm gonna make this better as the year goes on. And then spoiler alert, do I ever make it better? No. And as the year goes on, I kind of fall off of it. I don't track the things I want to track because I don't fully make the template exactly what I need it to be. Tale as old as time. It's been happening to me since 2021, and I decided this year we are breaking the cycle. 2025 is my year of no nonsense. I am not messing around this year, and 2025 is the year I'm going to be on my A game. It's the year of financial responsibility. It is the year of organization. It's the year of keeping myself in line and keeping myself accountable for things. And now, especially after ending my second year of doing YouTube full time, I have decided I need to be managing myself a little bit better. And as my second year of being a full-time content creator is coming to an end and I'm entering my third year, I'm really doing some deep reflection and soul searching about what I truly want out of this. I have realized that I've been a little too relaxed about it. And even though I have had a lot of significant accomplishments in 2024, I feel like this year was kind of like a standstill year for me. And I think it's because I left a lot of things on the back burner and didn't actively focus on a lot of things that maybe I should have been. Hindsight's always 2020. I have no regrets about anything I did this year, but I think something has awoken in me all of a sudden, and I just want to be the most prepared I can be for the new year. So here we are. Here's a breakdown of my plan with me's before we get into it so we can all be on the same page in case you're new here or you've never watched one of my plan with me's before. If you are new here, my name's Alexis. I'm 27. I live in New York City. This video is not sponsored in any way by Notion. They are just my preferred platform of choice when it comes to planning. I used to be a big bullet journaler back in 2017. You will probably be able to tell when you see this new template because I kind of pulled a lot of inspiration from my old bullet journaling days. So this new template that I just made is linked in my description. If you want to plan along with me, all you have to do is click on it, download it. I have all the instructions on the template of how to download it into your Notion. And as always, it's totally free to download. So now that we've gone over all the housekeeping, I think it's time to finally just jump into the plan with me and look at my brand new Notion template. Notion reveal. I am so proud of this Notion template. I have been working on it for so long, and there's definitely still some things that I need to work through and add more detail to, but this is what I have so far. I have a really good concept of what I want to keep track of this year and how I want to keep track of it. It's definitely a little bit different than what I have done in the past. Let's go through it one page at a time. This is my homepage. I wanted to switch up the format and have a homepage that I could see all of my important things right in front of me. So as I scroll down, you can see I have a lot going on the homepage, but I think that works a lot better for me personally. Starting with the cover up here. Just a simple little cover, says 2025. I wanted a quote on here and I was looking through quotes and I really like this one by Dolly Parton that says, "Find out who you are and do it on purpose." Because the last year and a half, I feel like I've kind of been doing things on autopilot, talking about all these dreams I have and talking about these things I want to do, and I'm just kind of doing the things that are easy, and I really want to fully put myself out there and do exactly what I want to do and do it on purpose. I love that quote. Gonna look at that every day to inspire my 2025. Also on this Notion template, I made all of my own icons. On Notion, you can use emojis, you can use the icons that Notion gives you, or you can add your own. So there's lots of websites that you can go and find them. I've done that in the past. I've pulled icons from websites that have Notion icons, but this year I was like, you know what, I want to make my own. I think that'd be fun. I went into Canva. I think you work off of a 280 by 280 pixel project, and then you just kind of throw in whatever you want to be your icon and save it out with no background. So that's what I did. I wanted a little cup of coffee to be my icon this year. I think last year it was a cloud. So a big thing on this template that I did on a few of my pages is to add more color and energy, I guess, to each page. I made my own dividers. So you can add a divider on Notion, but it's gonna be like, if you see right here, this little line. And I was like, that's not gonna do. I want it to be more fun. And I mentioned that I used to bullet journal all the time, and a big part of bullet journaling is using washi tape, which is fun colored tape to divide sections and add more color to your pages. So I went into Canva and I was like, what if I make my own own sort of washi tape. So I went in there and I made these sort of like banners and dividers just to place around the pages that kind of mimic the washi tape. So I made this that says the 2025 home base, and you can see like right here and down here I have my little like washi tape dividers. So right here I have my daily to-do. Because I wanted my homepage to be pretty active this year, I thought it would be best to have my daily to-do at the very beginning of my homepage. So every single day I can update it and change it up for what I need to do during the day. In the past, I've had my to-do list hidden in pages, like a daily page or something like that. No more of that. I finally learned that does not work. I'm never gonna fill it out if I don't see it right in front of my face. So right here, we have the daily to-do. Then next to it, I put a weekly to-do list. I use Google Calendar for a lot of my scheduling, so I didn't want to put like a schedule on here, but I did want to have a to-do list where if I'm making my daily to-do and I think, oh, but tomorrow I need to film this video, I can just jot that down and have that. Another big part of my Notion this year is that I have a monitor now. I got this a few months ago when I moved. I want to have my Notion kind of open on my monitor a lot. I formatted this in a way that I will have it behind my laptop at all times, just kind of able to check in on it and look at it. So I think having a weekly to-do list up on my monitor is going to be great for me to have to keep me focused and in check for the week. I also wanted to make use of widgets on my homepage. There's lots of different websites that you can get widgets from. I got mine from indify.co, and I linked that in the template if you want to use it as well. So I have the weather right here. I made it my little virtual window so I can kind of see what the weather is when I'm making my to-do list, plan for the day, and I have the next 3 days after that. This is actually very helpful for me because I feel like I am always looking for what the weather is outside. And then right here, I have these progress bars. So obviously I'm filming this at the end of December before we go into 2025. So it's showing like the end of the year, month, quarter, all of that right now. I think this is going to be very helpful for me too, because every month I'm like, the month escaped me. I didn't even realize how fast it was going. So if every day I can see, oh, we're 65% into the month, it's more than half over, that's gonna give me a better idea of how much time I have left for the month to get everything done that I wanna get done. I thought this was a really, really cool feature. So dropping below the weekly to-do list, I have my current projects. This little part I got inspired by Alexis. I was watching a few other people's Notion tours just to see what other people were doing, pull some inspiration, and I saw she had a projects and deliverables table on her homepage of her Notion. I saw that and I was like, that's really smart. I need that. For things like brand deals or things that have due dates, anything like that, I want to have that on my homepage so I can see that every single time I open up my computer, like this is due soon. I made it so I can add a status, I can make a priority. I think this is going to be great for me because a lot of times when I have due dates and things, I might put it in my Google Calendar, but unless I'm looking at the week it's due, I'm not really going to notice it until it's that week. Or it's just in my head floating around, and that's not good either. And then also here on the left side, I put a little Spotify playlist. If I want to be able to access Spotify, play my favorite playlist that I made, Vibes for a Beautiful Day. Not trying to plug my playlist, but I made this last March and it's like my favorite playlist to listen to. Then I have my 2025 goals and reflections. So in this page, I have my 2024 reflection, which I haven't actually filled out this year. I'm planning on doing this in the next week. I also didn't want my answers on this tour because I feel like that's a little personal. So I picked like 10 questions. What was the biggest personal accomplishment I achieved? How did it impact me? What challenges did I face this year and how did I overcome them? How did my relationships evolve? What was the most valuable lesson I learned? How did I prioritize my health? What was my greatest source of joy or fulfillment? Did I achieve goals I set in the beginning of the year? What new skills did I develop? What's one thing I wish I did differently? And then what's one thing I want to change this year? It's definitely very important to reflect on the past year, and instead of making it its own page like I did last year, like I had a previous year page that I never looked at again, I thought I would make this part of my 2025 planner. And then below that, we have my 2025 goals, which I'm going to set 3 personal goals, 3 career goals, and then 3 goals for mind, body, and health. So just keeping it simple, nothing crazy, and no more than 3 goals per section, because every single year I go a little crazy with the goals and then I just ultimately let myself down because it's way too many goals, way too many things. Let's do one together in each category. So for personal, I want to say be a more organized and conscious person. I said at the beginning of this video, I want to be way more aware this year and I want to be way more organized. And every year I'm like, I gotta get organized. But this year, I need to keep track of my shit. Like, I need to be on it and not be passive. This kind of is the same goal every year, but hit 100,000 subscribers. And then for mind, body, and health, actively go to therapy and be in tune with my emotions. These are kind of examples of how I'm going to set my goals. And then what I did last year, and honestly I might do this year too, is I make steps. So I try to give myself like 3 things to do to actually achieve this. So for be a more organized and conscious person, a step I could do is make a to-do list at the beginning of every day, hold myself accountable for everyday actions. I'm especially trying to become a lot more financially responsible this year, I think. I keep saying I haven't been financially irresponsible, but I wouldn't say I've been as financially responsible as I could be. And then down here on the homepage under my 2025 goals and reflections, I have ideas and inspiration. In my old Notion setup, I kind of always had these pages that were like fitness, books, things like I never used. This I'm using more as just like a list of when I do these things, not putting pressure on it. So for books, I just have a table that I'm going to fill out the title and the author of the book when I read it. And then honestly, I probably should add some more properties to this. Rating, out of 5, genre, and then within this review, I can open this up and write like my thoughts on it. So it's not like I'm going to set a book goal because we all know reading is a bit of a struggle for me. But I have this here to log my books when I do read them. And then similarly, I have recipes. This is where I can log new recipes that I find, recipes that I try and I like. And I kind of have a template set up for this where I can put the name of the recipe and then have what it is, put the ingredients in, all of that. So just kind of to make a log of these things because I never know what to make for dinner. I see a recipe I like, I can just put it in here and then I can access it later. I kind of think this tab might grow. Like I was thinking of maybe doing like movies or TV shows, like something like that, where if I hear of something that I want to watch, I can put that in here. But I thought I would start simple right now with books and recipes. Then right here I have a little spot for my 2025 vision board. As you guys know, every year I put my vision board in my Notion. I make it my phone background, I make it my laptop background. And so I fill it with a ton of pictures of everything that I want in my life for the next year, just to look at and remind myself every single time I open my phone or open my Notion or my laptop. A lot of these pictures have like a personal significance to me. Some of them you probably could tell why. Like this YouTube plaque that has that I wrote my name on it. Other ones a little more niche, but I really like making this vision board every year. All I do is I go to Pinterest, I make a board for my 2025 vision board, and I save as many pins as I can that I really see myself wanting to have that in my life for the year ahead. And then from there, I download all the pictures, I put them into Canva, then I pick all the pictures that I want to put on my board that look good together, move them around, I place them. Then once I place them, I put like a little filter kind of over it. I usually just get a square, I make it a color, I make it see-through, and then I layer that over it to kind of give all of it the same kind of look. This is my vision board this year. I really am happy with how it turned out. I still need to make it my phone background, but it is still 2024 as I'm filming this. It's still my old vision board. And then down here, I have a little slot for journaling. I have never journaled in my Notion before, and I don't know if I want to, but I made it so I had it. So I have this down here at the bottom in case I ever want to do that. But essentially, you just open it up and there you are, you're ready to write. Moving back up here, I have a little calendar right here that I can put important dates on to flag on my homepage. And then I have a little quote right here. You can choose courage or you can choose comfort. You cannot have both because like I said, I feel like I've become a little stagnant and comfortable in my life and I need to push myself again. And then from here, I have 2 little categories. So I have my dashboard that has a few different sections and then I have my goal setting. So starting on dashboard, I have a page for my content. I'm kind of switching up how I'm planning my content. I have a menu right here that has analytics, video planning, and channel goals. And then over here, I have just like a little snapshot of my quarterly growth. I am going to write down how many subscribers I have at the start of the quarter, how many subscribers I have at the end, and then how many I gained. And then from here, it's going to put in a little graph for me. So then I can kind of see how my growth is each quarter. So just to show you how this works, because it's really cool. If I gained 3,000 subscribers quarter 1, and then I gained 900 quarter 2, 10,000 quarter 3, 500 quarter 4. Then I can kind of see, okay, quarter 3 was an amazing period of growth. What did I do in that quarter that made me grow so much? So I can kind of see that visually right there. I do have a free version of Notion, and I did learn that you can only have 1 chart like this per free Notion. So this is my 1 chart. Then over here on the side, if you go into analytics, this is kind of the same format that I always have tracked my analytics in, but I need to copy over all of my data from my past analytics tab. I also am taking out watch time hours. I used to keep track of that because I started the table before I was monetized and that was an important aspect. But to be honest, watch time hours don't really matter to me much anymore. It's more just the views and subscribers. So instead, I'm going to track how many subscribers I got, how many views I'm at total on my channel, and then how many views I specifically got in that month. So I can kind of see how each month is doing compared to the other ones, you know? So maybe in January I got 100,000 views, but in February I see I got 200,000 views. Instead of just adding the lifetime views each month, I think that'll be interesting to see what months do better. If you can't tell, I'm really trying to optimize my Notion to be able to give me as much information as I can to be able to grow and shift and do what's best for my channel and my career and all of that. I'm getting a little analytical this year, which I think is needed. And then over here I have my Instagram analytics, which I'll just track my followers, and I'll copy all of that over too. Then the next tab I have is video planning. I'm really excited for this because I do use my content calendar in my Notion pretty heavily to be able to just visually look at all the videos I have coming up. And I kind of took this one step further in this setup. Oh, I just realized this has no cover page. I need to add that. So I kind of took this one step further in this template because I have my content calendar right here, but then I also have a space to plan out all of my videos next to it. These are tied to the same database. So let's say I open this up right here and I want to make a plan with me. Right now it's in December because I'm filming this in December. And let's say I want to post it on December 26th. It pops up over here and populates on the calendar. And then vice versa, let's say, oh, I want to post a video on the 1st and I want to post a vlog. Now it's added into this database over here. So I think this will be really helpful because then from here I can tag, is it a brand deal? What kind of video is it? If it's in progress. And then if I need to write a script or take notes on it, I can write it in here. I think this is going to be very beneficial for planning out my content, especially if I have to manage a few brand deals or something like that. And then down here, that same projects and deliverables that I had on the homepage, I have down here to keep track of any brand deals I have. So I can kind of cross-reference all of these together, which I'm excited about. And then lastly, I have channel goals. You might see this as blank. I need to decide how I want to do goals for my channel this year. I think I want to do it quarterly instead of monthly. And I don't necessarily know how I exactly want to plan it out. So we're still working on this one, but I have this here for when I'm ready to set some goals. I think setting like a view and subscriber goal isn't necessarily that productive because like, even though I can do everything I can to gain these subscribers, a lot of times it's up to the mercy of the algorithm and who decides to watch the videos, not necessarily how well the video performs. And I feel like doing goals like that are so numerical, where I'm trying to gain 5,000 subscribers in a month, I find that it makes me have a bit of a negative approach to posting because if I don't gain that 5,000, but I feel like I did really well, it directly affects like my self-worth. So I'm trying to find a way to make it more productive for me, for the channel, and for everybody involved. So we're still working on this one, but I have a page here for it. The next thing I have is career. This is kind of similar to my content calendar, but for auditioning. So I'm also an actor, singer, dancer, besides doing YouTube. I want to really try to keep track of my auditions, when they are, what I've been to, what I've submitted to. Similarly, if there's an audition, you know, on the 20th, and I add it in, it's also going to populate over here. And then after I go to the audition, I can reflect on how I think I did I get a call back, all of that. And same thing with like online submissions, things like that. This is a good way to keep track of what I've been to and what's coming up. So pretty simple, nothing too crazy going on here. I just wanted a place to keep all that information. Next, I have finances, which is a big one for me this year because like I said, I have not been keeping as well of track of my finances as I want to. And this is the year for me to really start investing more, look at my 401k a little bit better, make sure that my student loans are in check, like all of that. So I have a little quote, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. I have this little affirmation that I made, money flows easily to me. Here is where I'm going to list my financial goals. I haven't done that because I feel like I could do a whole other video on my finances in general. And if that's something that people want, maybe I'll do that like mid-January. And then I'm going to have it broken down into personal finances and business finances. Since I am self-employed with this channel, I have a whole business account with my bank and things I need to keep track of over there. So, and this year I have not done the best job at keeping track of that. So this is where I'm going to keep track of all of that information. I have an expenses sheet in Excel. I might carry over into here. I also might keep track of my different sources of income. And then down here, I just have notes. Simple as this, a place for note taking. I have a lot of meetings with like my managers, with brands. A lot of times I find myself just jotting down notes in my notes app. I think it would be a lot more cohesive if I had the notes here. So I honestly will probably have some sort of gallery view where I can open this up, title it notes, and then, you know, date it and do some sort of format like this and take notes in here so I can reference the notes. So that's everything for my dashboard. And now finally, the very last page of my Notion is goal setting. So you can see I'm doing this a little bit different this year than I have ever done it before. Every single year, I've always classified my goals by month, and I've realized I don't think that works for me. I think I need to be on a quarter system. A lot of reasons for this. I think I need a little more time to do the goals that I want to accomplish, and when I only give myself a month, it's very hard to do that. I think I'd be working better having 3 months to do it. 2, because I am self-employed, I have a lot of quarterly taxes that I need to pay, and it's very easy for me to have the quarter get away from me. So by having my little tracker telling me how far through the quarter I am and having it split up by quarters, that's gonna be a lot easier for me. And lastly, I just think this is a good way for me to manage my business running on quarters, because pretty much all the businesses in the world do that. So I should be doing it too. So jumping into Q1, I have pretty much the same layout for every single quarter. I just have different colors and color schemes. I have my intention of the quarter that I'm going to set, list any major upcoming events that quarter, quarterly goals, so big things I want to get accomplished. And then down here I have a quarterly calendar that I can put more dates on. So on the homepage I have like my big events. This I can put a little more specific things. And then I also have this quarter progress bar down here. And then I have my Q1 months right here. So I have January, February, March, and pretty much every month the format looks the same. But if you click into it, for January, I have my monthly goals, where I set 3 goals. I have goals still for each month, but it's not as heavy. These can be smaller goals, more personal goals, because all of my big stuff is in the quarterly goals on the homepage. And then over here I have a look ahead. This is where I'm going to do a little like journaling exercise. I have what is my best case scenario month and what am I looking forward to this month. The inspiration behind this what is my best case scenario month is my friend Maggie said that she saw a TikTok of a girl talking about how she journals every morning. And every morning the prompt is pretty much the same. If I had the best case scenario day today and everything went right, what would it look like? So my friend Maggie started doing it as well, and she said that it's really started positively impacting her days. Like she has started to really write out every single thing she wants to get accomplished during the day, and it puts her in a good mindset to get excited about things that are going to happen during the day, but then it also helps her kind of organize her thoughts for what she really truly wants to happen during the day. I think this is a great exercise to do for months as well, because if I write this out, I can kind of give myself an outline of everything that I want to happen during the month. So I think it's a good almost manifestation exercise, but also a good practical one, because you can see written out in front of you every single thing you want accomplished this month. At the end of the month, we'll head back to this page and do a monthly reflection. So we're going to reflect on my greatest success, something I learned, a value I lived, and then like some silly ones, my favorite TV show, song, memory. The 2 new things to this that I added that I never used to do were my greatest success and a value that I lived. I think these are 2 important things because I want to continue to celebrate the little accomplishments, and every month you do have some sort of success. They could be big, they could be small, but you have successes. And so I need to remind myself that, like especially in the months where I'm like, nothing happened this month. Every month always has something good in it. You just have to look for it. So that, and then the value part, I really want to focus on like being a better person this year and having more values. Not saying I don't have any right now, but I think it can be easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of like social media and how you present to the world and very like, I wouldn't say vain things, but like the vanity of it all. And I, instead of focusing on like my favorite outfit of the month, I want to focus on like, did I live with integrity, with honesty? Was I a good friend? Things like that, because I think that sometimes can get away from me and I get very stressed out and anxious and thinking about my work. Like I've been saying for the past few months, I just feel like there's a lot of hate in the world and I really want to try to contribute more good to it. So I think a really good way to start is by starting by looking within yourself and asking yourself these questions, like, am I being a truly good person? So as you can see, each quarter kind of looks the same, and then I just have the different months in each little monthly breakdown, and that really is my entire new Notion. I wanted it to be short and sweet, but I also wanted it to have the ability to be extensive enough that it's really going to keep me on track. There's definitely a few pages that still need to be worked on a little bit and added to, and I know this is still a pretty blank template of it. Like I need to go back in and actually make these quarter goals, make my January goals, all of that. But I really just wanted to show you guys my entire template for this and share it with you in case you want to use it for your 2025. So that is my Notion template for 2025. I'm feeling really good about it. I was really excited to share it with you guys, and I'm really glad I just did. So like I said, it's in the description if you want to access it, have it for yourself. As far as quarter 1 goals and setting all of that, I really just wanted to get this information out to you and show you how I'm going to be planning my 2025. And next week in my like reset vlog for January, I will touch on those actual quarter one goals and we can go through that together. 2024 was a bit of an odd year for me. 2023 was a hard year for me. So going into 2024, I kind of put a lot of pressure on it because I was like, okay, I'm done with 2023. That was a bad year and everything's going to be better and magically fixed in 2024. And that wasn't necessarily the case. I think this year I spent a lot of the year healing from a few things that I had encountered in 2023. And this year I also had to deal with a few things that were a bit unexpected. So I definitely had a few things I encountered this year that kind of kept me in that same cadence and pattern as 2023. And now I know, like, you can't really put pressure on a new year because time really is a construct and you can choose any day of the week, any day of the month to choose to reset and change your life. But I just love an excuse for a new start. So I really love the beginning of a new year because it gives me that extra motivation to really like get my life together. So overall, I really tried to set this notion up in a way that I'm not going to fall off of it like I do every year. And I'm really proud of how I put this together. So I am really looking forward to the new year. I'm looking forward to what my channel is going to do in the new year. Like I said at the beginning of the video, YouTube has been my full-time job for 2 years now, and I don't want to get too comfortable in that. I want to keep learning and growing and making better videos, and honestly finding new ways to switch up my days. I have talked about maybe getting a part-time job. That's something that I am really going to circle back to in January because, like I said, I have some big financial goals this year and social media can be a little unpredictable and I kind of feel like I just need a change of pace in my life a little bit. So we're gonna look into different options, things I can do, and I think this year is going to be very different than my past 2 years, and I think it's gonna be different in a really good way. So I can't wait, I'm excited, and I can't wait to keep making videos and sharing my life with you guys. So since we're in the last video of 2024, I wanna say thank you one more time to everybody who is subscribed to me, everyone who watches my videos. You guys are the reason I can do this full time, and never in my wildest dreams when I did my first plan with me in 2021 would I ever imagine that this would be my job. I am just feeling so grateful, and I think I want to lead with gratitude going into 2025. Really get my goals done and focus in and stay motivated. I kind of got into a rut this year. I feel like we all kind of felt it the whole year. So I think I'm finally ready to pull myself out of that rut and really make some big plans for this year. Thank you for going through my template with me. We'll talk about these quarter one goals next week. So that is all I have for today. So thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you in 2025. Bye.